You worried about retirement? Don't be, because California will help you save money. Don't be like this lady. No! The good folks in the state of California are going to help you. Because what we don't have enough is government involvement in your life. They're going to get more involved. All right, so this is Dateline, July 1st, 2019. A guy sent this email to me, this article to me from the LA Times. Are you a worker worried about you won't have enough money to retire? Are you an employer who doesn't offer a pension plan or a 401k to your workers? If so, CalSavers is aimed at you. On July 1st, California launches an ambitious state-sponsored retirement program for the private sector. All employers with 5 or more workers will be required to sign on if they don't offer their employees a way to save and invest for retirement. They're going to be required. What, by threat of violence against them? Violence in the forms of being taken away their property, thrown in the freaking debt prison, by the prison? As many as 300,000 employers must comply over the next 3 years. Why would you ever start a business in California, man? Of course, Los Angeles Times is too idiotic to understand. They say that will give some 7.5 million workers who currently have no access to a pension, 401k, or other qualified plan an easy way to deduct savings from their paychecks. Every single American has access to a retirement plan. It's called an IRA. Just because the employer doesn't offer it doesn't mean the employee has no access to a retirement plan. And it will bypass often complex and costly procedures as well as liability that has deterred many businesses from offering investment programs to the employees. Californians who lack a workplace retirement plan. Percentage of employees from 25 to 64 without workplace retirement plan. 50% in 1997, 60% now. All right, so I mean, the freaking, man, the media is so ignorant. Again, ignorant means they don't know. It doesn't mean they're stupid. It means they don't know. They don't know. I mean, who is the writer here? Margot Roosevelt. Let's see who Margot Roosevelt is. She just doesn't know oh my, she's not a young buck. She's covers economic labor, workplace, and economic labor and workplace issues for the Los Angeles Times. She's a former environmental reporter for the Times. She used to work as a foreign national correspondent. All right, so let's keep reading because this is mind-boggling insanity on steroids. When it comes to retirement income security, says Neri Reed, director of the Retirement Security Program at UC Berkeley, most working Californians are in trouble. See, this is the point. This is what they want you to think, that we are in trouble from retirement savings. So now we're going to make it mandated. Employers, as many as 300,000 employers must comply. Do you not see how these two things work hand in hand? Everyone sits there and says, Josh, why would these people get together and fake news us in order to gain financial wealth? It's not just about wealth. It's about power. Don't you understand? Power is what these people crave. Once they get the power, the wealth comes next. Why do you think in all socialist tyrannies, the rich people, Hugo Chavez, Fidel Castro, their daughters have billions of dollars. Billions. Why? Because once power comes, the wealth follows. In America, once the wealth comes, power follows, generally speaking. In socialism, once power comes, wealth follows. All right, so here's Nari Ree, she loves this idea because it gives her more power. A private sector's worker who have fallen through the yawning gaps in the U.S. retirement system. In the Golden State, 61% of private sector's workers have no access to a pension or 401k plan. So freaking what? California ranks 45th out of 50 states in the share of workers who have access to a retirement plan. Social Security, oh God, man. Margot, what are you doing? I mean, this is just idiotic in how this right here is idiotic. This is ignorant and idiotic at the same time. Social Security with an average benefit of $14.61 won't meet the basic needs for many in a state with skyrocketing housing and medical costs. I find that the average benefit is only $14.61 because some of the people who are on Social Security are 88, 90 years old. Inherently, they're not making that much money on Social Security, so you're reducing the average benefit. The average benefit is someone who's hitting full retirement age and ain't going to be 1461. People are worried they'll have to work until they die, says Katie Selinsky. CalSaver's executive director. Yeah, how did Katie Selinsky get that gig? I'm curious. Let's take a look at old Katie Selinsky. Where's she from? Here's old Katie Selinsky's LinkedIn page. Look, she's in the middle of that diverse group of people there. Isn't that great? They're so diverse. I don't see any white guys in there. What's up with that? Oh, there's one white guy too. Okay, gotcha. So we got a couple white guys thrown in for good measure because white guys don't fall under diversity. Isn't this interesting though? She went to the Harvard Kennedy School. Interesting. Let's see where else old Katie follows here. All right, so let's see. So she's executive director of CalSavers in 2017. She was on the advisory board of the Aspen Institute from December 18th to present. Why did she get on the Aspen Institute? Because she's executive director of CalSaves. And where was she before? Oh, the Pew Charitable Trust. Ah, gotcha. So Harvard, let's see, Harvard Kennedy School. She has a master in public policy. She has a political science degree in sociology from University of Chicago, Harvard University of Chicago. Do you think she has any idea what average Joes go through? Look, man, we know for a fact she comes from money. I got no qualm with that. But the idea is she knows what you and I go through on a regular basis. All these people, the Pew, I don't know what Harvey Rose is, don't have any idea. I can only imagine it's I'll keep my thoughts on that to myself. Harvard Kennedy School, Chicago business degree, bachelor's degree in political science and sociology. I mean, give me a freaking break, man. And what skill set does she have to help you in your business manage your employees' retirement? What skill set? The only skill she has is she comes from money and she knows the right people because look, the Aspen Advisory, the Pew Charitable Trust, Harvard Kennedy School. These are our credentialed bettors, my friends. And anytime they start talking about there's a crisis, they're doing it so they can gain power. Is that conspiracy? Is that paranoid? You freaking doggone right it is, because you have every reason to have conspiracy and paranoia when it comes to these people. You don't need to read Atlas Shrugged to realize that there is a group of people, the intellectual elites, who want to rob you of your freedom. I'm telling you, man. And they're doing, do you think this lady, look, I don't know. She might be the wonderful lady ever in the world of mankind. What is that lady doing? She's showing a t-shirt. Why is that red t-shirt? And it's weird. I have it. She's showing it up. I bet that's ASME. I bet that is it AARP or ASME? Look, let's just put it this way. And here she is in the middle. Katie Selinsky is not your friend. She's not your friend. And that I don't mean Katie Selinsky, the individual person. I mean that group of intellectual bettors who travel these areas that you and I don't travel, we'll never get invited to, and they never, ever came to Topeka, Kansas. We used to say Peoria, Illinois. I'm saying Topeka. They used to say if it plays in Peoria, I use Topeka because it's smack dab in the middle, roughly. And I just use that as the mainstream Americans. These people do not represent us, my friends. They don't. They want power, and with power comes wealth. Look at this. So she goes from director. Look, she goes from Harvard, right? Chicago to Harvard. I mean, it's all put in front of them. And then she goes to executive director of CalSavers because she's like, look, I'm from Harvard. I went to the state policy public sector retirement system with a Pew. She becomes executive director of CalSavers, and now she's on the Aspen Institute board. Look, that's where all the rich people play. All the rich people play. Katie Selinsky will never, ever, ever wonder where her mortgage payment is ever going to come from again. Guaranteed. I'm telling you right now. And so now what she's doing, we're going to help you with your employees. We're just here to help. As Reagan says, the scariest words are from the government. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. Ugh. So what do employers have to do? Because Katie and her band of intellectual elites are going to mandate you. Now listen, you are running a freaking landscape business. You have 10 employees. You're trying to make payroll. You're trying to get health insurance. You're trying to get everything situated. You got an employee who calls in sick. You got another one who's pregnant. And you are trying to make sure that your customers are dealing with the day-to-day activities so you can pay your mortgage. Here comes Katie Selinsky and her band of tyrants, wannabe tyrants out there. And they're going to say, if you don't do this, You will face the consequence because we are here to help. Employers of any size can voluntarily sign up for CalSavers as of July 1st. Next year, mandatory compliance kicks in. Of course, Margot Roosevelt has no clue, will never say what mandatory is. What happens if you don't comply? That's always the next, anytime it comes to socialism. What if I don't? Capitalism, what if you don't? It doesn't matter. Socialism, you just say, what if I don't? What if I don't comply? Employers of fewer than 5 people are exempt, but all others who have not adopted a private market retirement plan must register and allow CalSavers to enroll their workers. Employers with more than 100 workers will have until 2020 to comply. And so you're going to be called in front of Katie, and it's freaking scary, man. You don't find this frightening? With 30 days of registering at calsavers.com, employers must provide oh my goodness, this is even scarier. You must provide your employees with their names, social security numbers, date of birth, and contact information. To CalSavers, to Katie Selinsky, you have to comply and give them that data on your employees. Do the employees have a right to opt out? From the beginning to the end, this process generally takes about 30 minutes. Many employers complete in less than 15 minutes or less. The employers must remit payroll contributions to CalSavers each pay period. What does CalSavers offer private employers? Unlike private market retirement plans offered by financial institutions, which can have high fees, CalSavers is free for employers. And because CalSavers is sponsored by the state, not the employer is not vulnerable to lawsuits related to the program. Employers don't have to worry about choosing mutual funds. CalSavers takes responsibility for that. Yeah. And who do you think they're going to pick? The ones who scratch their back. We're going to scratch yours, you scratch ours. Unlike a private plan, employers aren't allowed to match contributions. So once an employer registers with CalSavers, workers are automatically enrolled in a post-tax Roth individual retirement account unless they opt out. A pre-tax will be available later on. Workers can save up to the federal maximum of $6,000 for those under age 50 and $7,000 for the age 50 or over. 5% of the worker's paycheck is automatically deducted. We are sensitive to the fact that many people work 2 or 3 jobs to put food on the table, but even if people contribute as little as 1%, that adds up over time with the magic of compound interest, says Katie. She will tell you how to manage your affairs because, look, we know better than you. We know better. You might say, I need that money to pay my mortgage or to pay for my EpiPen, which Joe Manchin's daughter runs the company who does the EpiPens. Joe Manchin, senator from West Virginia, daughter making tons of money, but no one cares that I got to pay $850 for an EpiPen. But hey, Katie says we're going to make sure you get the benefit of magic of compounding interest. Workers can take their IRA whenever they change jobs. In theory, workers can go to a financial institution, open their IRA. It's not theory, it's reality. But few do so. Fees, a required minimum balance, and complexity to figure out how to invest the money can make the process daunting because you aren't smart enough to manage this yourself. Research shows that people are 15 times more likely to save for retirement if they have the tools to do so through their employer. Maybe it's because, Katie, they have a company match. You ever thought about that? This whole thing is such a freaking scam, man. All right, so I'm done with these people. A sustainable investment fund. Oh, look, and here we go. We're going to give you a sustainable investing fund, which accounts for environmental, social, and governance factors. It's also available in addition of a core bond fund and global equity fund. On the outside of the program, investment fees will be 82 basis points and 95%. What? That's not high fee, Margot. God. State Street Global Advisors are going to be the management of the 4. Isn't that interesting? A firm based in London is going to manage a sustainable. Do you think these people are not scratching each other's back? So who's State Street Global Advisors? They're the one that put up that stupid fierce girl or whatever, the fearless girl in front of the charging bull. All right, State Street SSGA is getting sued left and right because they were discriminatory. And look, I take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to an accusation. I get that. But it's all virtue signaling. So we're going to take someone else's intellectual property and put our statue on there to show how we're for women's rights. And that way we can tell people like Katie Selinsky, who runs Cow Savers, look, we're for women's rights. And yet they're freaking on the being accused of harassment to women. Why is State Street Global Advisors getting the assets? And they're charging freaking almost 100 basis points. It's all a fraud. All right, so the beginning of September, workers who are independent contractors called 1099 workers may enroll. Okay, so remember, if you are it's all going independent contractor route. It's going to be more and more automated because automation does not require you to be in Cal Savers. And I don't see any comments on here. This whole friggin' thing is nuts, dude. And you got to stand true. You got to get out of California. I'm going to share with something else here. Watch this. Let's see if this is old Margot. California tenants will see a cap on rent increases under bill sent to Newsom. Let's see who writes about this. Liam Dillon. Let's see what Liam Dillon's experience is, shall we? He covers California state politics for the Los Angeles Times. Prior to joining the Times, he covered local and state politics. All right, so I mean, we don't know. He's a journalist on political science degree. I guarantee you. So here, California tenants will see cap on rent increases under a bill sent to Newsom. Are you going to pay? You're literally taking property from the homeowners. Are you going to take that? You're going to pay them back there, Governor Newsom? Most yearly rent increases over the next decade will be limited to 5% plus inflation. Tenants across California will, for the first time, have protections against how much landlords can increase their rents after legislatures narrowly approved a measure to cap annual rent hikes. And tenants will receive protections. This is freaking insane. You got to get the hell out of there. The anti-gouging and eviction protections will help families afford a roof over their heads. No, it won't. It's going to... Look, man, get out of California. It's nuts. Look, the facts are, anytime they do these, it's a theft of private property without question. Anytime they do that stuff, all it does is reduce the supply of housing without question. It's just no Republicans voted in favor. If you're a Republican, you voted in favor of this, you're freaking insane. I don't even want to read this. Anyway, the point about this is at the end of the day, they're mandating that the renters, the landlords, the evil landlords, they're rent control. You think 5% is good now? Why not say, hey, we're going to make it you can't increase rent? Well, how about this? We're going to take the property from you anyway. I mean, this is takings. Are they? I would have a hard time in the entire state of California. I'd have a hard time seeing how this doesn't violate any kind of Supreme Court revision, because that's a whole state. But I'm not holding I'm not holding my nose on this. I mean, you have to wait for the Supreme Court to give you your constitutional rights to property. Anyway, rent control is evil. We all know minimum wages and rent control is evil, evil, evil. Get away from them. It's nuts, dude. It's taking you're not going to compensate the homeowners. You're not going to compensate the landlords. You're just going to take, on top of that, going back to Margot's stupidity here, do you really think that someone who's looking to have paid for diaper bills, she's going to say, hey, now I get more options in an IRA where I can save money. Yay. Freaking thing's nuts. Stand up against these tyrants, my friends. Stand up. All right, we'll see you.